name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Alright, today is June 2nd, 2025. It is 1:15 a.m. Oh my god, I've been on here for like an hour, not only to create the list, but I've been looking at videos and things like that. This is not on my list, but since it's right there on the screen, this is Shell Burke, Dancing with the Star. This is non-squatties kind of talk, saying how she changed her face. Dancing with the Star, that's her face right here. That's how she used to look when she was on Dancing with the Star. The first image, that's how she looks now. She changed her face completely. She changed completely. And me trying to be messy, I went on to put, let me pause this. These videos, her ex-husband with chili. Let's focus on let me focus on my list. This is what I have here. There's one, I'm not sure I'm gonna have time to record it. I put it by itself because on my last video, it was a long thread. It caught me by surprise, so I didn't do it on the last video. But since I came across these tweets, I'm gonna focus on this. Maybe some other time I'll focus on that thread. I already waste like an hour. So yeah, so this is the first tweet. All right, let's put. Oh, I put it on the wrong one. That's the one I wanted to do by itself. I'm not gonna do it here. It's too long. It's 31 minutes. Let me switch some stuff over. Yeah, I put it on the wrong one. The one that I just put, that's the one I want to do by itself because it's 31 minutes. So this is the first tweet. They are absolutely terrified that he will change his name to Spencer or MG. This will be so amazing. Many British famous sons are choosing this lately to take their mother's surname, like Liam Neeson's son. Oh, did he? This is going to be so epic, so historic. Lily Diana Spencer, legend. Liam, was it Liam Neeson? I think he's dating, okay, sidetrack. I think he's dating Pamela Anderson. His wife died on a ski trip. Yeah, Natasha Richardson died in 2009. Son. Okay. Oh, one of the child, Michael Richardson, took the mother. Maybe it's a tribute to the mother because the mother died. Very interesting. And the other one in Daniel Neeson. Okay, I didn't know about that. Michael Richardson took the mother's last name. Probably a tribute to the mother. Okay, I just learned something. Now, back to Harry the Spencers. So this tweet is making reference to if Harry were to change his last name to the Spencers, that would have been... you know, the derangers, the royal rats will go crazy because they're trying to erase Princess Diana's name completely. Right, so there's here, she's after the inheritance, like Meghan is after the inheritance, and that's my response to it. What she and Harry are doing right now are worth in trillions of dollars. Do you see the work that they both are doing? They're not sitting around waiting for no effing inheritance. They're making their own monies. That's what you got clicking and commenting. Okay, that should be, that's why you clicking and commenting on anything about them. That's why. Because I was changing stuff. Let's put it uppercase. Okay. And then let's black this one. Don't need to see the comment back. Okay, back to this. Let's see what other squaddies are saying. Nina, can you imagine those confected Saxon Coburg Gather known as Windsors with their fake name? That was their German names, okay? The Windsors, the royal family German names. We'll have to cope in a world where the Spencers Churchill use their actual name and have a court. Oh, too delicious. Alright, Prince Harry got this in his back pocket when Willie attempted to take away Sussex dukedom. Prince Harry is thinking, we don't know. Prince Harry is thinking, do it, and we will just become Spencers. Prince Harry is playing chess, not checkers. Okay, there must have been something that was said somewhere for the squad to bring this topic up. I'm not sure. Once I find out, I'll definitely will share with you. And I see Sussex is trending right now. So something must have gone on. Sorry, but I disagree. This gives oxygen to the derangers. The media attack him further for his title. I mean, no matter what Harry and Meghan do, the tabloid will still be talking. Harry and Meghan, just have to focus on what's best for them. Okay, I think if he change it to Spencer, then the monarchists will have a new talking point for why Sussex should be taken away. I will support whatever decision he makes though. Okay, OMG. You read the post. He asked Uncle Charles Spencer, who said not good idea, and he can be Lord Spencer or Earl Spencer, so he will be Prince Harry or simple Harry Spencer. Okay, I don't think they care too much about titles, but whatever. I like Spencer better than any of the royal names. You know, if they take the titles away, they do whatever. Okay, after that, Harry should do this for a long time. F the titles and all that crap, just be authentic to his true self and the mother he adored. I hope Harry does change it to Spencer. It will be a total F you to them, and Diana will be delighted. I'm sure of that. It will also obliterate the idea that Harry and Meghan wants to keep their Sussex titles. It makes me wish they call Archie Spencer, LOL. The spare become England kings. Prince Ginger won worldwide. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. Next tweet. Alright, so there's this here. Mark Dolan thinks Meghan's going to clean out Harry. Oh, so that's why the other one was saying about inheritance. Please. Please, Meghan challenged the monarchy outdated rules and toxic traditions because she refused to be silenced and conform. Harry's own book exposed the palace's dark side. She's not after his cash. She's after a free life. Oh, so that's why the other one was saying, the one that I responded on the last tweet. Let's listen to this idiot here.
When it comes to the chopping board, Harry will be next. It's not a case of if, but when. Which is why, after extensive research, the Mark Dolan Show can confirm that there is no prenuptial agreement between the couple, which means that the inevitable divorce will be a hellish car crash in slow motion for Prince Harry, who was naive and stupid enough to think that he would be, married to this woman for life, this woman who is a famously narcissistic, social climbing.
What is wrong with these people? Then I'm pretty sure when they got married, I think I came across something, or I heard something, that there was a prenup when they first married. There was a prenup. I think they already did that. The royal family made them do it. But let's continue.
And ruthless. He thought they would be together forever. What a fool. Now, the lack of a prenup is backed up from well-placed sources, notwithstanding research on the part of the Mark Dolan Show, but we also...
He covered himself. Not in the part of Mark Dolan Show.
Notwithstanding research on the part of the Mark Dolan Show, but
This is where he just protect himself. Not in the Mark Dolan. They don't know anything. They didn't do any research. He just protect himself right there. Not in the Mark Dolan show. They didn't do any research.
So have multiple royal biographies that confirm the fact that there's no prenup. Alongside the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, Vanity Fair and People magazine, there is no prenup, which means that Harry is in the doo-doo. Meghan Markle is going to clean him out. It's absolutely certain.
So this is where that comment came from. They're picking up from this. Oh my God. Okay? Harry asked people not to repost stories like this. You're spreading the venom and giving this guy a platform. Can you not see this? We all know GB News use Harry and Meghan for rating and you're helping them. I know it's frustrating, but I ignore them. Alright? All this is good, but what he says is true, but still. Okay, I think Harry is worth way more since he married Meghan than before. She has made him richer. I think so too. If he was a Walmart greeter on $15 per hour, I doubt she will have given him a second glance. I don't know. It's been 5 years and those wash-up hacks are struggling to let go. 7 times millionaires. Meghan didn't stick around the Windsors to be the doormat like Kate. She has far more self-worth. Alright, let's get to the next one. Oh my goodness, they don't know. He just protect himself. He said Mark Dolan show didn't do any research. Alright, next tweet. This is from Not My King. Men who refuse to share a palace and sometimes a country with his wife refuse to share a room with Harry. Okay, I'm not gonna click on this. Alright, palace aides leaking once again, and yet when Harry said this kind of stuff happened, he was branded a liar. Neither of these royal correspondents were in the room, so how could they have possibly known what was said unless someone told them? Okay, that's an ad. There's the laugh here. Sickening to the, King Rat used Harry's grandparents' names to attack them. So easy to claim that Queen Elizabeth II or Prince Philip said or behave in a certain, let's pause this, or behave in a certain way now that they're no longer here. Complete BS move. Successful Sussexes are living their best lives, free, uncontrolled, and uncontrollable. The firm Rota tabloid and monarchists believe the old playbook will work, banished to attempt. They never encounter a powerful black American millionaires who can be bought free. Okay, amazing how all these experts are okay to discuss, make money from hearsay and speculation, but when someone actually from that room who the talks impacted tell his side of the story is vulgar and disrespectful. There's a slap in the face and there's the laugh. Harry and Meghan proof we don't need to subsidize these wealthy families. It's okay, whatever's here, that's it. Okay, it's a disgrace to desperately try and reinforce a sad myth that Philip was so devastated by Harry's action well after Phyllis has died. This is yet another tired attempt to stir up stories that Harry and Meghan hurt Queen Elizabeth II and Philip and therefore are traitors, and hating them is justified pathetic. This is the thing they like to do, go back to old stories. And this is why William was able to stand in front of the world to call his mother paranoid and disregard Princess Diana's own word.
I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others.
Meanwhile,
I walk into the house and stick my hand out to Camilla for the first time and think she got over that. We were all upstairs and I was chatting away and I suddenly noticed there was no Camilla and no Charles upstairs. So this disturbs me. So I make my way to go downstairs again. I know what I'm going to confront myself. try to stop me from going downstairs. Then I don't go down there. I just go find my husband. I go downstairs, and there's a very happy little threesome going on downstairs. Camilla, Charles, and some other man who I don't really know, shooting away. So I thought, right, this is your moment. So I went and sat down, joined in the conversation as though we were best friends. And I said, Camilla, I'd love to have a word with you. And she looked really uncomfortable, put her head down. She said, oh yes. I said to the two men, okay boys, you should have a word with Camilla. And I'll be up in a minute. And they shot upstairs like chickens with their heads. And I could feel upstairs all hell breaking loose. What is she going to do? So I said, Camilla, let's sit down. So we sat down. And I was terrified. And I said, Camilla, I'd just like to know that I know exactly what's going on. And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, I know what's going on between me and Charles. And I just wouldn't believe it. And she said to me, very interesting, she said to me, you've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got 2 beautiful children, what more do you want? And I didn't believe what she said anyway. So I said, I want my husband. And she said, well, and she looked down the whole time. I said to Camilla, I'm sorry I'm in the way. I obviously am in the way. And it must be hell for both of you. But I don't know what's going on, don't you? In the car on the way back, my husband was over me with a flash. I cried, I've never cried before. It was anger, it was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out. Cried. I didn't sleep that night. And the next morning I woke up.
Another anti-Harry and Meghan documentary by Channel 5 full of biased royal reporters who work with the palace with access to palace staff. The rest of the documentaries on other royals are full of puff pieces from the same channel, yet we are told royal don't leak or with the media. One of the things that I said is that they've been trying with their blueprint, trying to have those positive coverage, but each time they throw their nonsense out, the squad shut it down. So they can't get a break from, getting good coverage, especially what happened in Canada. Charles effed up. He didn't get the kind of praise that he was looking. Instead, he's getting Canada wants to remove itself from the Commonwealth. But their playbook is not working. So they go back to resort to their old playbook. Okay, where was I here? Did I finish with it? Okay. On other royals are full puff pieces from the same channel, yet we are told royals don't leak or brief the media. Last one from this tweet. Everyone needs to read Spare. Get it from your local library. Read it. That is true. Yeah, because Harry pretty much explained everything. Next tweet. Alright, so there's another thing. I don't know. There's a campaign that's going on. For a couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of snapshot, little clips here and there about documentary from the UK. Alright, the same Rota reporters who claim Harry and Meghan lie admit now not only were the couple telling the truth, the royal family intentionally left Meghan out of the Sandringham summit because they wanted to isolate Harry from Meghan, who being much smarter than them will see through their BS. I knew that, and I think I responded to this a few minutes ago. Yeah, this is what I say here. I'm going to show you the video with screenshot, of course. The same reason they didn't want Meghan seeing Queen Elizabeth's body when she died. The inconsistencies she will have uncovered in that room, in my humble opinion, we will probably still be talking about her death now. Just saying. Okay? But let's listen to this. It's almost 2 minutes.
Harry needs support from someone who isn't in the room. The one person who understands what he's going through.
Meghan said very clearly in her Netflix documentary.
Imagine a conversation, a roundtable discussion about the future of your life when the stakes are this high, and you as the mom and the wife and the target, in many regards, aren't invited to have a seat at the table.
And I have to say on that, I sort of agree with her. In the end, they told her that they would do a call with her.
I have a lot of sympathy for Meghan. Watching from afar as this all played out and basically having no voice in the room.
I'm looking at these people. It's like they put a different face in different documentary. One day they will lie their butt off, looking in front of the camera and just lie. And then on the next, they're telling the truth. I mean, how do these people live with themselves? How? Especially this one on the screen right there. My God. Let's continue.
The conversation on the phone is going to be the most difficult part of the whole negotiations.
One of the stories that came out was Meghan dialing in from California. But absolutely firmly that was not going to happen, even if that's what Harry wanted. They had no way of knowing who else would have been in the room with Meghan. Would have there been someone making notes? They simply couldn't allow that.
Well, they could have
But I
FaceTime.
think the real reason was because they all knew that Meghan was probably smarter, brighter, had a more linear view of where she and Harry were going and what they wanted. And they probably thought they would get a better outcome with just Harry.
But they're making it seem like as if Harry is dumb. They really think Harry is dumb. They really do think so. Meanwhile, Harry is smarter than all of them as well. I mean, if you put 2 brilliant minds together, Harry and Meghan, I mean, you see what's happening already. So they isolate Harry because they thought Harry is dumb. But meanwhile, from the beginning, when they were dating, their foundation was there. And I think once they see all the walls was crumbling, whatever direction they plan on going, it was set as well. So they knew what they wanted. They knew why Harry was gonna go to the Syndrome Summit. So they focused on something, whatever discussion they probably had before Harry left. And then, since they didn't want Meghan to be there, and Harry focused on whatever he had discussed with Meghan. So this is why at the end of the day, they told him, you either in or you're out. And if he was to be in, Meghan will not be there. So they said, okay, we'll do the all out. And it worked in their favor. That's what I think. All right, let's finish. Only, 3 more seconds. All right, so that's it. It's mostly music. Okay, video credit from this person. Where is this clip from? It looks like all the usual royal expert trolls got together and reenact Spare and Netflix documentary from their own perspective. Money must be running low, lol. Talking about Harry and Meghan is a sure way to get those bills paid. Okay, that is exactly what they did, but they also confirmed what they initially called Harry and Meghan liar for revealing. Okay, I read that already. They thought that by keeping Meghan away, they will manipulate Prince Harry, but Prince Harry stood his ground. Yeah, that's exactly that. That's exactly that. Okay, I'm so proud of him. I will never stop saying that. Like I said, they knew what, because they did not want Meghan to be in the room. And remember, during the engagement interview, so they had an idea what they were gonna do. Okay, so Meghan left her work to be with him and work together.
But also giving up your career.
Yes, that's nice. Yes. But I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
It's a new challenge. It's a new
chapter, right? And also keep in mind, I've been working on my show for 7 years. So we were very, very fortunate to be able to have that sort of longevity on a series. And for me, once we hit the 100 episode marker, I thought, you know what, I have ticked this box.
And little at a time, this is the thing, and Spare as well. When Charles took Harry to walk with him, trying to dissect his mind, okay, to start putting crazy ideas into his mind, saying that, oh, we don't have money for Meghan, you know, as if Harry is dumb.
Driving us out into the fields, asked about Meg. Not with great interest, just casually. Still, he didn't always ask, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Say again. Does she want to keep on acting?
But also giving up your career.
Yes, that's nice. Yes. But I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me, doing the job, you know, which would rule out Suits, since they film in Toronto. I see. Well, darling boy, you know there's not enough money to go around. I stared. What was he banging on about? He explained, or tried to. I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. I flinched. Something about his use of the name Catherine. I remembered the time he and Camilla wanted Kate to change the spelling of her name because there were already 2 royal ciphers with a C and a crown above. Charles and Camilla. It would be too confusing to have another. Make it Catherine with a K, they suggested. I wondered now what came of that suggestion. I turned to Willie, gave him a look that said, "You listening to this?" His face was blank. Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet inside the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. Was Pa, with all his millions from the hugely lucrative Duchy of Cornwall, trying to say that our captivity was starting to cost him a bit too much? Besides which, how much could it possibly cost to house and feed Meg? I wanted to say, she doesn't eat much, you know, and I'll ask her to make her own clothes, if you like. It was suddenly clear to me that this wasn't about money. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight. Someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him, and Camilla. He'd lived through that before and had no interest in living through it again.
Okay, they truly believe Harry is dumb. They could control him. So when Charles took Harry for that walk, talking about, oh, we don't have money for Meghan, we don't have this, da. Meanwhile, there's tons of money. They have a lot of money. And I'm glad Harry did not reveal everything to them as well, because I think he understands these people. So back to the engagement. They had an idea, a focus of what they were gonna do. Okay, and that engagement interview, Harry was saying there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do because they had an idea what they wanted to do.
I don't know if it's something new. I think it's for me it's an added member of the family. It's another team player as part of the bigger team. And you know, for all of us, all we want to do is be able to carry out the right engagements, carry out our work, and try and encourage others and the younger generation to be able to see the world in the correct sense, rather than perhaps having a distorted view. So you know, the fact that I fell in love with Meghan so incredibly quickly was a sort of confirmation to me that everything, all the stars were aligned. Everything was just perfect. It was this beautiful woman just sort of literally tripped and fell into my life. I fell into her life, and the fact that I know the fact that she'll be really unbelievably good at the job part of it as well, is obviously a huge relief to me, because she'll be able to deal with everything else that comes with it. But no, you know, we're a fantastic team. We know we are, and we hope to, you know, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
I am very excited about that, yeah.
And Meghan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved in various causes, you've been an ambassador for UN Women. What about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, how...
Sing.
Can you imagine? No, I'm not a singer. I think what's been really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate, I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility, which I take seriously. And at the same time, I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth. I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
Okay, so now the royal family decided to change the game on them. So now I think, and then when things started revealing, Meghan, the suicidal ideation and all of that, things were crumbling down, and they realized their plan will not fit with the royal family. Then I think Harry and Meghan change course. They have their own little talk.
A lot of travel back and forth, but...
I don't think you've had any idea what time zone you've been on for the last year and a half.
No.
Coming over here 4 days or a week and then going back and then straight into filming the next day, 4 a.m. wake-up calls on a Monday, straight into set, you know. And
right off the plane and straight to set,
yeah,
just coming
I'm just
back
trying to stay as close as possible, but you know, on 2 different time zones and 5 hours apart does have its challenges. But we made it work, and now we're here, so we're thrilled.
But in the case of your relationship, unlike for most people, there's this whole layer of what it means to get involved with someone from the royal family. How much of a sense did you have, Meghan, of the enormity of what you were getting into, what it might mean for your life?
I think I can very safely say, as naive as it sounds now, having gone through this learning curve in the past year and a half, I did not have any understanding of just what it would be like. I don't think either of us did that. We both said that, even though we knew that it would be.
Yeah, I tried to warn you as much as possible, but I think both of us were totally surprised by the reaction after the first 5-6 months of what we had to ourselves of what actually happened from then. So I think you can have as many conversations as you want and try and prepare as much as possible, but we were totally unprepared for what happened after that.
The scrutiny.
Well, all sorts.
Well, I mean, I think also because there's a misconception that because I have worked in the entertainment industry that this would be something I would be familiar with. But even though I've been on my show for, I guess, 6 years at that point, and working before that, I've never been part of tabloid culture. I've never been in pop culture to that degree, and lived a relatively quiet life, even though I focused so much on my job. And so that was a really stark difference out of the gate. But and I think we were just hit so hard at the beginning with a lot of mistruths that I made the choice to not read anything, positive or negative. It just didn't make sense, and instead we focused all of our energies just on nurturing our relationship.
On us, yeah.
On us.
And some of that scrutiny, and you ended up making a very public statement about it, some of that scrutiny was centered around your ethnicity, Meghan. When you realized that, what did you think?
Of course it's disheartening. You know, it's a shame that that is the climate in this world, to focus that much on that, or that would be discriminatory in that sense. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, I'm really just proud of who I am and where I come from, and we have never put any focus on that. We've just focused on who we are as a couple. And so when you take all those extra layers away and all of that noise, I think it makes it really easy to just enjoy being together and tune all the rest of that out.
But now that it is all official, Prince Harry, do you have that sense that the combination of the two of you, your different backgrounds, that you together represent something new for the royal family?
Now, with the Sandrium Summit, remember how they said, Oprah had said, before the Sandrium Summit, Oprah had said that they wanted Meghan to be 50% less of herself and things like that?
Been given advice to that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was.
Wow.
That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Wow, I think it's...
So little at a time, things were shifting. So once when they realized that they did not want them, or probably Meghan, or she realized they didn't want her there, and now their focus changed. Now during the Syndrome Summit, now they knew what the discussion was gonna be. I truly believe they had a little discussion. Harry and Meghan had a little talk before Harry flew to the UK. Okay, and said, look, this is our focus. Okay, they discussed their focus. Harry and Meghan in California or wherever they were discussed their focus, what they wanted to do. Now, once Harry's over there with his family, okay, maybe Harry and Meghan had two options. If they want Meghan to be part of the royal family to work there, this is what they were gonna do. If they did not want her to be there, this is what they're gonna do. So this is where the 50-50 come. So when they didn't accept the 50-50, and then they decided, William, the paper, everything was already written, they choose it for him and say, you all out. So Harry was like, okay. And once the all out was in motion, they focused on their work. And I think it was the best decision for them. Why? Because if it was 50-50, the royal family with that mentality of prestige, they want to know what everybody's doing so it doesn't coincide with their work and all of that, they will make up all sort of BS. Once they know what Meghan and Harry's schedule are, what they plan on doing, they will create roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. Or you can do this because we're going to do this here. You can do that because this is going to happen. They did the best decision for them. The royal family chose the best option for Harry and Meghan.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between, a compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
Okay. Alright, so there's this comment here. Oh my God. This admission is music to my ears. They truly and utterly fear Meghan, and that is the crux of the matter. There's the laugh here. Like I said in this is why they didn't want her to see the Queen's body. I truly believe something happened. Yes, the Queen probably was ill and everything like that, but they fast forward her death because of all the things that were happening. Too many positive things were happening for Harry and Meghan. That's not what they wanted. Okay? Too many good things were happening for Harry and Meghan around that. As soon as they went to what's the place, Germany, they had to create something, and the Queen took the fall for it. And then they went at it to bash them all week. It's unbelievable. I will never forget that week. How crazy the royal rats went. Alright, next tweet. Why are my DMs flooded with clips of a British documentary that is fully validating everything Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan have been saying for years? What's going on? Okay, Sam, let's pause this. I have been seeing a lot of it on my timeline too, and all the voters are doing is using Spare and Harry and Meghan's documentary to try to make more money off of them, because their hate articles are no longer working, but don't know why the squad is spreading that mess. Okay, there I'm talking about it, and I just share it with you. Okay, oh my god, I know what is happening. Okay, I just follow you on TikTok. Let us know when you drop it. I'm truly befuddled. Okay, abdication incoming. The hate train isn't working anymore with Meghan's increased visibility and Harry's successful philanthropy, and can't credibly sell their hate anymore. Their choice is number 1, ignore Harry and Meghan, or 2, jump on the bandwagon and promote them. I'll be 100% shocked if they choose to. Okay, because the lies aren't sticking anymore. That's why. Yeah, I keep seeing this as well, showing their attention be on the working royals. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. Okay, this is Martin TikTok. Alright, let's pause. It's 1 minute and 49 seconds. Once again, the desperate Willy Wet Wipe tries to cosplay as his younger brother. Hilarious. Okay, what is he trying to say here? Oh, Yearborn is the next Alan Sugar. William, the very man prince, no wearing ties or being polite just because, and the room and stick. Okay, so part of his body is blocking it. So let's listen to him.
Morning, friends. Happy Saturday. How are you doing? And we absolutely called this last week, didn't we? Harry being on stage for Travelist, being confident and eloquent. Meghan all over the media everywhere, granted her 3rd series of Netflix. We called that the media would be encouraged, if you know what I'm saying, to print some brilliant stories about how amazing William is. And The Guardian, that used to be respected in the UK, took up that challenge with some enthusiasm. William, the very modern prince. No wearing ties or being polite just because I'm in the room. And stick to WhatsApp. You can message him on WhatsApp and he will probably do 0 work in response to your message, but he might tell you what to do. What absolute BS. Absolute sycophancy from The Guardian. This stuff, it has to stop, because it doesn't help him, it doesn't help Guardian readers, and it doesn't help the rest of the UK. This guy, from this headline, should be writing a book about how to run a successful business and have your employees following you like a loyal spaniel. But he can't do any of that, because these headlines, people, they're just not correct. The WhatsApp bit might be correct. WhatsApp is a brilliant tool for instant communication. The rest of it, the guy has no presence. He's got no skills. He wouldn't be able to get a job in the real world if the monarchy was dissolved. Why are the Guardian selling him as the next Alan Sugar? I've no idea, but as ever, see what I did there? Comments are open. Let me know what you think.
Oh my goodness. Okay, The Guardian getting desperate. Desperate time, desperate measures for the royal cult. I'm loving it. Haha. The institution is becoming a bigger joke than usual. How is William cosplaying Harold? Does Harold have a multi-million estate with Tenet? Well, Harry's running his own thing.
Harry and Meghan are incredibly marketable. I'd call them the new young Obamas. They're going to make an ungodly amount of money, and you know what? They literally could become billionaires over the next 20 years. If either of them came on Shark Tank, I wouldn't even wait for them to pitch. I'd be like, I'm in, whatever you want, yes. Because they are so marketable. It would be so easy to develop products and projects for them, with them, and around them. It'd be, yes. Can you hook it up?
Travelist will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition, guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. We're really looking forward to being in New York with our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to celebrate everything that we have achieved together so far and sharing our vision for what's to come next.
From what I've seen with, with the landlord thing, he's not even taking care of those properties. But if he has all of this, why doesn't he focus on that? Oh my God. Wow. He looks 65, going on 70 years old. Hating one's brother does age a person, doesn't it? I can really make out he is a modern man when he's the next minute is the Westminster Abbey wearing what looks like a curtain with tassels. The squad have to throw that shade. Okay, I remember when they put a video of Kate out to coincide with the week Meghan's Netflix documentary was going to drop, and Meghan postponed because of the California fires. I'm not laughing about the California fires, but the shade, how they try to overshadow Meghan, and then Meghan just put a pause. Spot on. I mean, our ancestors is doing his thing. Spot on. There's a thumbs up. The OB is a POS. All right, William and shit, and the world knows it. Next tweet. the squad throwing shade. Crazy how the emotional support pole couldn't help you avoid being overshadowed by a napkin and honeybees. I was cracking about that. Overshadowed by napkin and honeybees. Alright, LOL. I think it's severely backfired in their faces. Although Rota had their talking points, they all tweeted the same exact headlines focused on Meghan's supposed unpopular versus William and Kate's popularity. Oh my God, don't tell me. Okay. Phew, for a minute I thought I was gonna see a long list. But they didn't expect it to backfire in their faces so spectacularly. Over 24 hours and can't crack 10,000 views. William is a man on a mission, but it was nice to see him so relaxed. So that's the thing Martin was talking about. He still look weird though. But anyway, this is the numbers that they're talking about. 20 comment, 26 retweet, 276 like. Or a low-key trip to China, that's Harry, hopping on the likes the Ukraine visit, right? Shaking my head. And clean vegetables, okay, that's Meghan doing her thing, right? Laughing my ass off. So there's me laughing here. You guys have a way of wording your pettiness, overshadowed by a napkin and honeybees. The squad are just making fun of it. Alright, so this is extra. I'm so glad I read Spare by Prince Harry, hearing what he experienced right from his own mouth. A third, fourth, or 10th party can tell that story. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. How about Spare? Okay, next tweet. Okay, you can open a page, website, or paper of any UK media, and there'll be a story about Meghan. Honestly, it's like a source tell us Meghan put hot milk in her cereal 6 years ago, and it's made the Queen mad. How can these royal experts not be embarrassed? Nah, they have no shame. Oh, look at this. Just when I said that, this is what this comment said. They have no shame. That's exactly why they are royal experts. Just ask Angela Levine, which I black, and her wig, she'll expound for 3 hours. The wig will stand up for 4. Okay, it's the only way the media have tried to prop the dysfunctional royal family, Kensington royal. They are all laughing stock. Okay, exactly. I know, right? Okay, true. That platinum hair witch, Maureen Callahan, has 2 or 3 false and vicious articles in the Daily Mail about Meghan per week. Well, same goes for repeating it and perpetuating it. Alright, because they need to make money and Harry and Meghan sells. No one is interested in the leftovers. The British royal family doesn't get clicks. There's that. Sleeping and yawning. Plus the British media don't report. They make up stories generally paid by the British royal family. Okay, how about you do what the rest of us do and simply don't read it? Alright, let's go to the next one. I black all of them. If the squad don't talk about these And sometimes it's good. You see, like Martin, for instance, where he described the headline and sort of explained the meaning or what the headline is trying to tell you. Something like that. Okay? I don't bother reading them, or I black every one of them. If I know you are DERANGER or you're Volvat, I black you. I don't need to see it. But if the squad are talking about it, explaining it, and like I'm sharing with you, I'll do that. But I'm not gonna go and click on their nonsense. Next tweet. Okay, I'm just saying, if I were Meghan hater, I'll treat lightly because her ancestors are working hard. A hater who wanted her, quote, thrown off the balcony, and quote, now has a broken neck. What is it? I'm laughing because I'm thinking the ancestors won't leave him alone. First, there was some issues that happened to him sometime last year. 2 things, and he went to the hospital. And then not recently, he fell off while he was sitting. You would have thought he's walking and doing things and he fell off. No, the guy was sitting and he fell off. It was not on camera, but you could see people's reaction and you could hear the noise. I did share that. But the ancestors is not leaving him alone if it's the same guy. It must be. Okay, a hater who wanted her thrown off the balcony now has a broken neck, head flare up, and 3 slip discs, fell at home and fell while on broadcast. That's the same person. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking ancestors won't leave him alone. Okay, if y'all remember Alice Evan, who is a stunt hater and a Karen who has perpetrated the most disgusting lies about Meghan, well, guess what? 2 weeks ago, divorced Alice was looking for a spare room as she's about to be homeless. I'm sorry, I'm laughing about this, but my God, the squad knows so much. Karma eventually comes for every single hater. Okay, let's see. I never wish harm on anyone. Same thing here, but again, the image that's going in my head where karma keeps on going back to some of them and say, I'm not done with you. Okay, let me stop laughing. Okay, this is why I like baggage for God. I don't want to wish anything on them, but baggage for God. And that was one tweet. I let my guard down. I went off. I was pissed about what I was reading. But anyway, let's get back to this. I never wish harm on anyone. Energy, karma, and ancestors handled that. My Native American grandma will rise and scold me if I ever cross that line. Universal law doesn't miss. Okay, universal law doesn't miss indeed. Haters will always get what they wish for. Meghan, her ancestors do not sleep. Alright, I'm telling you, Meghan's destiny has been blessed from the off. Meghan's heart is good. Mess with her at your peril. What a wicked thing to want for someone she doesn't or will never know. It's remarkable. Karma knew her address. Next. Okay, yes, also, the hater who wanted Meghan thrown off the balcony is a still ugly man. Alice is another hater who is now homeless. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm laughing about this. I don't wish any harm on, again, that freaking image is coming in my head. Karma came back. Karma go back and say, I'm not done with you. Okay, do you mean she is an evil witch? Or are you implying voodoo? What are you trying to say? Alright, keep speaking ill of her and all this ill will not touch her. It will only come back to bite you. Right, there are some sad people. Karma strikes in many ways. They cannot stop themselves. The Daily Mail digging on Meghan, then slip up. And that's also Princess Diana saying, you will not talk about my beautiful daughter-in-law and get away with it. She has much favor in heaven. That is true. That last part, she has much favor in heaven. Okay, what the men saw, they reap. Those who dig a hole for others to fall in will fall in their own hole. Meghan haters are only reaping their hate. Alright, somewhat, the last one. Somewhat related, DERANGERs used to go on and on and on about how Harry will never be the king. They will even outline what will have to happen for him to be king. They seem to be playing with fire to me. Alright, next tweet. And they're playing with fire. Next one. I have one more after this. Alright. Okay. So this has nothing to do with the royal family. I think I'm done with that. This is the US politics here. This is Trump who's destroying things. Things that used to help young kids and things like that. So this is what this is about. Trump and Republican wants them homeless or in jail. Job Corps funding eliminated, but prison funds increase. So they're trying to lock people up. 1 minute and 5 seconds. Just talk to your kids. Let's just listen. It's crazy.
They had us go to the wreck at about 1:30, and they broke the news to us, and they had us go to the dorms, pack our stuff.
The staff on site would not say a word to us, but sources tell us it was shut down after recent cuts at the Department of Labor, which oversees the program.
I didn't want him to be a statistic, so I wanted him to be focused and get his education.
16-year-old Carlton Davis lived here, and his mom recently lost their house, and there's more.
I have breast cancer surgery next week, so
God.
now I'm debating having my surgery canceled so I can make sure my son is okay.
You're not helping your son. You have to take care of yourself first. Okay? Take care of yourself first. Get that surgery. So you could, in the long run, you could be there to help guide your son. I mean, come on. Yes, all of these are important, but yourself is first. The same thing we usually say when a plane is going down. The first thing you do is put your mask on first before you could help someone else. Talking to your son, let your son know right and wrong. Do your best verbally, but yourself, get that surgery out of the way. So you could be there in the long run with your son.
I am livid. I cannot believe this.
Community activist Pastor Mo trying to help out here after getting calls from frantic mothers. He's worried about the short and long-term solutions for these kids.
The ones who are trying to get it right. That's why I'm so pissed off. These are not kids are in a youth home who got caught in a crime. These are kids who trying to avoid getting caught in a crime.
Alright. We just have to come together. The black community come together and do what we need to do. Okay, I'm not even gonna go in the comment section. This is my last one. What was this about? Eve, oh, this is a kind of funny kind of thing. This is Eva Longoria, who's doing her, I guess, green carpet, and she came with her son. Okay, I'm dead. Why does everybody know you? Alright, 43 seconds. I didn't even know she has a child, but let's listen. 43 seconds. Okay, she's promoting something. This is her son right there. All right. So I guess they're doing this for, what is it? Espresso? So she's working, and I guess there were some issues with babysitter bringing her son with her. But let's listen. You're gonna hear he's saying, why does everybody know you? I think I responded to one comment under there. Poor little guy. Doesn't know what the mom does for a living. Okay, there's this. Okay, I'm not gonna go into that. He's fed up. There's that. Let's pause this. What's that? She's just spitting facts. Okay, I don't know what's this. 38 seconds. Since it's there, let's see what she's saying.
It's toxic for men and women. One thing I can't watch on TikTok is girls teaching other girls, never settle for less. Here's some money, here's a bag, here's some shoes. Look what my man got me, look at my bedroom. What they're doing is preparing you to be dissatisfied with whatever your partner brings to the table. Constantly teaching you the most inauthentic way to create a marriage. And you're going into relationships and thinking, how come we don't do pranks on each other? Or how come you don't decorate my bedroom on Valentine's Day? Wrong role models 24/7. So it's preparing you to how to be dissatisfied, how to be uncomfortable, and how to look for replacements in your marriage.
Okay, I wasn't about this, but whatever you get out of this. What is that? I'm sorry, but these kind of kids are so annoying because why are you being loud and this? What? This is a child. This is a child. There's a possibility, okay? I don't know. I don't follow her. None of that. Usually, I think this is the first time she came with her child. So there must have been some issues with babysitter or whoever she had set for the child wasn't there. So her last resort to keep up with whatever agreement she had with Espresso to show up at that red carpet, she had to show up. Otherwise, maybe lawsuit? I don't know. I'm just saying. From the facade of things. Just that clip. Just that clip I'm talking about. Okay? Because once you make agreement with those business people, you have to keep it up. Now, maybe there was arrangement for the child to be with somebody and that person is not there to do that. So her last resort, this must be a last resort for her to bring the child with her. At least she could see the child with her. If she left the child in the house by herself, guess what? She would be in trouble. So the child came with her, and being a child, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. He's just being a child, which means she doesn't bring her issues, her work issues to the at home to say, oh, I'm an actress. This is what I do. She's just being a mom with the child. And now the child is shocked. Why do you know my mom? I mean, as a matter of fact, I think that was pretty cute, knowing that probably defending her mother. Why are you calling my mom? Who are you? Why? I don't know. This is the most ridiculous comment, insecure comment here. Okay, that's Joanna Solis. I don't know who is she. Look at his little face. He was dead as tight. Yeah, he was very protective of the mom. Why are you calling my mom? Who are you? That's a, I think that's a very honorable thing. Protecting his mom. Okay, that kid really needs to learn some respect. Oh my God. I don't know. Is it because I'm a mother? Is that the same person? Tiki Ricky. Where's the person that I was reading here? Okay, that's a different person. Alright, let's leave that alone. Where's my comment? I thought I responded to one of them. Okay. Okay, let's see. This seems a bit more sensible. I'm tired of this every time we go out. That's a quote here. You guys criticizing the toddler, but imagine how he feels. Thank you. This person understand. Little man think he should be the one getting juice and not mom. Typical. Alright, let's leave that alone. It's in, oh my God, the common sense of adults. I can't believe this. Maybe because I'm a mother, I understand. For some reason, I don't know the issue behind this. Okay, why the child was with her. It must have been a last resort for her to bring him along. Because right now, she's working. What she's doing there, it's work. There must have been some sort of agreement. There's this guy giving her that, whatever, that espresso thing to take the picture with it. Which means she's representing the brand. Okay? So she had to show up. This event was set up probably long time ago. And it was in her calendar to show up. Now, last minute, things that she cannot change. Babysitter or whoever was supposed to be home with the child can't make it. So her last resort was to bring the child with her. In my humble opinion, I could be 1,000,000% wrong. Because you don't see her bringing her kids everywhere. But that one, and the child is young. If the child was a teenager, much older, I could understand. Could have been part of the securities with her. We would not know unless if we already knew who her child is. But to bring the toddler, I think it's last resort for her. In my humble opinion. I'm not trying to make any excuse or anything like that. It just seemed unusual for her to bring the child. But it must have been a last resort. And to maintain her agreement with Espresso, she had to, is it Nespresso or Espresso? Whatever this brand is. She had to show up to represent it. Otherwise, whatever agreement she made with this brand, she will not get her paycheck. Okay? She's working right now for her money. But anyway, that's all I have. Let's do a prayer. Prayer, I don't know, for knowledge, I guess. Let's do knowledge. Let's look for image. Let's pick that one. Prayer for wisdom, open doors, prayer. Dear God, I know that you can open doors that no man can ever shut. It's not always easy for me to see and sense the direction I need to take, and so today I trust and ask you to lead me to open doors of opportunity that you have prepared for me. Help me make sense of the options that lay before me and help me see and make the right choices today. Amen. All right, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that is it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.